to my channel. Thanks for joining me here today. You guys, I start school in like a week and a half. That's crazy. Do any of you start school in July? Now, to be fair, I actually start on July 23rd with a week of training, and then I have 2 days of staff like development, back to school stuff on Monday, Tuesday, July 30th and 31st, and then the students come on August 1st. I've never ever started school this early. Now, I worked in a different school district last year, and so I got out later than this current school district. So my summer has actually been cut by 3 weeks. That's okay though, right? Because next summer I'm going to have a nice summer. I'll get the full summer experience being in this new school district. And the good news is I'm going to be at the same high school as my husband, which is going to be really, really exciting. Though we teach in completely different departments, so I'll probably only see him when I walk into school and leave school in the evening or afternoon. But oh well. I've been thinking a lot about ed tech, and I know in my last video I shared a couple of my favorite ed tech programs with you. So in this video I wanted to share 5 more really cool ed tech programs that I have used before, or maybe I've even heard of that I want to try out in my own classroom this year. So I want to share those with you, and I'm going to do this a little bit different today because what I would like to do is give you a really brief explanation of the program and then do a little bit of screencasting so you can get just like a little taste of the program. I am hoping that this would encourage you to try out the program yourself. Now, I do want to remind you that one of my biggest tips in my last video was for you to pick one ed tech program, just one, and then focus your year on learning and becoming really great at that one program. Maybe you want to be a little more accelerated and do like one program per semester or one per month, but please do not overwhelm yourself and think you have to do everything. You do not. I think it's really easy for experienced teachers to forget what it was like to be a beginner. And we all start out as beginners at something. So please give yourself a lot of grace. Just choose one program and play around with it. See what you like or don't like about the program. All right, have any of you ever heard of the program called Padlet? Now, this is kind of a popular program, so chances are maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've even seen it before, or someone has created a Padlet and you've responded on one before. Padlet is a really fun, neat program to encourage and create some engagement in a discussion in your classroom. Padlet can be used to do things such as the warm-up. It can be a quick discussion to break up maybe in between reading and a whole class discussion. Maybe you do a little bit of reflective thinking with a Padlet. It can even be a homework assignment. Now, basically what Padlet is a platform where students go and engage in discussion. As the teacher, you create an account, and then you go into your Padlet, you create a new Padlet, and then you can choose a background like a corkboard, a world map. You can do pictures of a flower or donuts, whatever you want to do on the background. And then you post a question. So you can put a question on the Padlet, like, I don't know, like it's a corkboard where you like post, you know, like questions or help wanted or posters of things. And so essentially you post a question and then students, they go in and you either give them a direct link to your Padlet or a direct link and the password, because you can password protect your Padlet, and then you let students answer their questions. What's really nice is that when students are signing with Google, it will actually tell you the name of the student, so you can double check who is saying what to each other on the Padlet. And I would just be really mindful, don't let them write anonymously, because they can put other people's names on there and it just creates a whole host of issues. But really wonderful program, great for a warm-up. It's great to encourage some discussion, and I'm going to show you just a really quick view of what Padlet looks like.
All right, so I'm going to show you a little bit about Padlet. So this is the Padlet page, the landing page. When you come in, you'll be prompted to like log in and stuff. So here it has me. Hi Happily, welcome to Padlet. So on Padlet you can see, you can click this like red button to make a Padlet. You can join a Padlet. So this would be like if you are participating in a Padlet, there's a gallery, or you can do an upgrade to like a higher edition. So basically we want to make a Padlet because I just want to show you what it looks like. And to do a simple form, we're going to do the wall. So we're going to click select on the wall. And then waiting for that to load. Here it comes with this like preloaded title over here. I can edit it, which I want to. So over here is where I can edit my title. So I'm going to do, maybe I'm introducing To Kill a Mockingbird over here. So I'm going to type that in description, and I'm going to, maybe this is going to be thinking about coming of age or something, I don't know, related to that. Now over here on the side is where you pick that wallpaper. So I click more, and there's all kinds of little backgrounds that you can choose, and just all different cute things. So I'm gonna go with the corkboard because I think it's cute. I'm gonna hit save. I think everything else on here is good. So I click over here. I've got a nice empty Padlet. What am I gonna do? Well, I want to prompt some discussion. So I'm gonna click this little pencil here, and my title is Coming of Age, or no, maybe my title is gonna be about Scout. So I'm introducing the novel, and I want students to think about maybe the reliability of a narrator. So I'm going to type in a reflective question. So think of a young child that you know. Can they be trusted to always tell the truth or remember events correctly? Maybe instead of correctly, it's like in perfect detail. I'm not sure. So basically, I've got my question up there. So students can essentially come into my Padlet, they can look at my question, and then they can create their own response and respond to it. So that's basically Padlet. It's just a place where people can click and have discussions, and then see it'll stay on here, and then the students can read other people's thoughts. You can have them respond to each other's thoughts as well. So essentially, in a nutshell, there's Padlet.
Number 2, Adobe Spark. Have you ever heard of Adobe Spark? I actually had never heard of Adobe Spark until I went to the Education Technology Academy, or the EdTech Academy in my county a few years ago. I use Adobe Spark for all kinds of things. Personally, I actually use it to create my YouTube thumbnails. I've used it to create flyers for like Right Across America Week or Spirit Days. I also used another popular one called Canva to do the same, but I want to share Adobe Spark with you because personally, I think Adobe Spark is a little bit more user-friendly for students than Canva, although Canva is also user-friendly. Anyways, let's focus on Adobe Spark. So Adobe Spark is a program where you can go in and you can create little mini videos, you can create a pictograph of some sort, or you can create almost like a web page. They call them pages. And basically you go in, you create or choose a picture, and then you can add text on top of it. So you can layer text on top of it, but it's a lot of like pre-created layouts. And so you're not doing a lot more design work like you would do in, say, Adobe Photoshop, which you really need like a lot of training and help to be really good at Adobe Photoshop. So what I have done in my class with Adobe Spark is I've created videos for back to school, like school supplies you should have, and I put music to it to make it engaging. And basically I do like voiceover pictures. I've also created little videos for like what is kindness or behavior management, that kind of stuff. I have had my students go in and do reading response activities where they'll choose a picture or a symbol of some kind as their background that's related to their reading, and then they'll do quotes on top, or they'll do some kind of response. Students have created posters, so in Read 180, doing a unit on water and water usage and drought. So students created posters for reducing the amount of water that we used. And it was really great, really engaging, very user-friendly program. And I want to show you what that looks like.
Welcome to Adobe Spark. So this is essentially the landing page after you've logged into Adobe Spark. Down here you can see I have 2 projects in that I just wanted to make sure you saw what it looked like. So I do use Adobe Spark to create my YouTube thumbnails. That's one I didn't actually use. I just like made it to show you. But when you go into Adobe Spark, there's a blue button at the top, and if you click on that, it's going to give you 3 options. You can do a post, a page, or a video. Now remember I talked about how I made videos where I did voiceover pictures and added music and stuff? That's the video. The page is something I don't have really much experience using, although I know you could use it to do some pretty cool responses to maybe a novel or a science project or something like that. But what I most frequently use is posts. So I'm just going to show you how I might create a post. So you can pick a template that's already been pre-done. And so there's like business, crafty, school, they have them like themed for you. And basically what that means is there's already a layout on there. And so I'm going to look down at the bottom. We have Square, so probably like Instagram, blog post, Pinterest, YouTube thumbnail, Instagram, Pinterest. So you can see they create these layouts already fresh, nice and easy for you to use. So maybe I'm going to do like a school one. I don't know. This one looks cool. So I'm just going to pick this one. And maybe I'm doing a response to a book like Harry Potter. So I don't know, Harry Potter always is on my mind. So that's why I chose that one. So it's right here, it's loading the picture. So it takes a moment because it's a lot of data to load. All right, so this is like the sample one that was already done. Obviously, this has nothing to do with Harry Potter, so I'm going to start replacing those pictures. This one came with a marble, so I click on the picture once, and then I can replace, delete, or get some information. Let's replace. Over here on the side, it'll open the free picture photo box, so I'm going to type in Harry Potter and see what comes up. So I've got a castle, looks like the Harry Potter castle, old-looking castles and halls, and I don't know, just cool stuff that looks like related to Harry Potter. I'm going to pick this one because I'm maybe going to be responding with my favorite quote from the book. What's this symbol? I don't know. I don't like it. Let's get rid of it. So here, whoops, before I show you what that is, this is the text. So I can move the text around, I can drag it around, and I want to double click on it if I want to edit. And then, oh, there's a really good quote in the book, so let's find it. So Dumbledore quotes Harry Potter. Yeah, I want it to be the one about choices. It is our choices, so let's go ahead and add choices in there. And it is our choices, Harry, that show who we truly are, far more than our abilities. So I'm going to go back to Adobe Spark, paste that baby in there, and then I'm going to put Dumbledore, because that's the person who said it. So I have that in there. I like it because there's like two halls, meaning like you can go this way or that way. You can make this choice or that choice. I don't like the font, so I'm going to click on it once, make sure it's clicked, and then shape. Click on my shape so I can edit, do some different shapes with my picture. I can change the way it looks. I can change the color. There, okay, that one's nice. So let's do color. Now I can click through some of these like pre-done color options on the side. I can make my own, and if you double click it, it'll like switch, I don't know, all your different color choices around, so I can like shuffle stuff around. It doesn't really match the palette of that nice picture. Maybe one of these. It's a little bit more, no. Oh, okay, yeah, nice. Okay, it's our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. Wow, I really like that. What's this thing at the bottom? I don't know. I don't need it. Let's delete it. Okay, so I can just click on it once and either use the delete button up here or use the one on my computer. Super nice. I'm all done. And then I can hit download, and now I have a picture that I can turn into my teacher as a response to reading.
Number 3, EdPuzzle. EdPuzzle is a super cool program. Do any of you ever show videos in your class or have your students take notes while they're watching videos in class? I think it's really easy for students to completely zone out and not pay attention when you are showing a video. You might even like stop your video and encourage some kind of discussion amongst the students, and that's a really helpful thing to do. With EdPuzzle though, you build it into the video. What's really cool about EdPuzzle is that you can go into the program, which I'll show you, and then you can search for a video on YouTube. Maybe there's one you already use and you really like, or you can search for videos that have already been used and created within the program. So essentially what you do is you get your video and then you put stop points on the video wherever you want them, and then you insert a question. So what happens is as the students are watching the video, it stops them and then they can't go forward until they type in an answer to the question. Really neat program, especially if you do something like a flipped classroom. This would be a really great ed tech tool to use to hold students accountable to really focusing and paying attention to that video, but also collecting some feedback from the students or data from the students on what they're thinking and how they're responding to that video. Let's take a look.
Welcome to EdPuzzle. So EdPuzzle is that program that has some super cool videos where you can like stop the videos and force kids to respond. So when I log into EdPuzzle, there's options down the side. I can look at some public EdPuzzles that have already been made. You could look at some private things from your school site. At the top, you could search for different things, or you can upload your own video as well. So let me show you essentially what EdPuzzle is. So I can click on just to like sample someone's already made EdPuzzle. So Shakespeare Sonnet, Crash Course Literature. Oh, this one has, yes, this one has questions. Okay, so let me show you how it works.
Hi, I'm John Green. This is Crash Course Literature, and you look great. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Nah, thou art more lovely and more temperate. Time scheme, but the Shakespearean.
All right, so you're going along, you're watching your video, and then the student is forced to stop, and then they have to answer a question. So what are the sequences of rhymes in the Shakespearean sonnet? The student has to type in a response, and then they can hit continue.
Meter in Shakespearean sonnets, as in much of Shakespeare.
And then the video goes on. So as a teacher, you're able to get that feedback from the student. You're able to make sure that they're paying attention. They can't move on until they answer that question. It's a really nice way to control and make sure that there's some accountability in that feedback as they're using the program. So this one is one made by someone named Jake Williams. It was just a public one. I just wanted to show you. There's all different ones. World's Best Motivational Video. Let's see what this one is. You know what? This is a great video, but there are no questions. How about digital citizenship? Again, no questions on these. These are, maybe they're just like sample videos that you can use. Introducing
We're going over the
equation.
counting equation.
I have no idea what that is, but I can click on that first question, and then students are forced to respond to this question. Looks like they can like pick an answer. I have no idea what assets equals liabilities minus equity. I don't know, because I'm not an econ or accounting teacher. But the point of this is there's a lot of cool things you can do with this. Any content level, you've just got to upload your video and then add in that piece where you're putting those questions in for your students.
Number 4, Kahoot. Who has not heard of Kahoot at this point? Kahoot is a really popular program to sort of gamify education in your class. It's a great tool to use for accessing background knowledge or reviewing work in class. I've had students create the Kahoots for me. I've created Kahoots, although I do love to have students make the Kahoots because then I don't have to do the work of making them. Now, Kahoot is basically a program where you go in, you create an account, and then you create a quiz, and then you ask questions and you put in 4 multiple choice answers. You want to make those really brief and short because it is timed. So the whole class gets a code. You give them the code. They go to kahoot.it. They log the code in, and then they're brought into your personal quiz. Every kid gets to make like a nickname or something, and then you start putting questions up, and then they're racing to answer the question. And it tracks all of the kids by their nickname to see who's getting the most points. So the faster you answer the question correctly, the faster you get those points, and it's really fun. Students love it, especially if you're doing review, like vocabulary, grammar, or reviewing a book or something you've read. You can do this with science, history, math. You can use Kahoot for anything. You can even go into Kahoot and find some already made Disney Kahoots if you just want to do a Kahoot for fun. You just need a little bit of time filler and you want to bring some joy and positivity into your classroom. Kahoot's a great program for that. Let's have a look.
So here's a nice view of the Kahoot program. So when you're logged in, I have no stats because this is like a personal random account, not my teacher account, which got shut down like 2 days ago because I don't work at that school anymore. But anyway, so here's my personal account for Kahoot. Now I can log in and I can create a new Kahoot. I can do a jumble, which is like drag answers in the correct order. I can do a discussion, or I can do a survey with my student. So if I click on quiz, which is like most commonly what I use Kahoot for, I just wait for the quiz page to load. What's going on? It's taking forever. So I've got to like give a title and then a description because I can control like, is this visible for like all of Kahoot or whatnot. Yes, I want to discard that because I just want to show you like an already made Kahoot. So find Kahoot up here at the top because maybe I'm too busy, and I'm going to do To Kill a Mockingbird, and I'm going to search that and see what already done Kahoots have been made. So here is one made 3 years ago. It's had 5.2 thousand plays, and there are 10 questions. So click on this. It's super nice that there are some already made. So what is Atticus's job? What is his family's surname? Underneath it, I can click on hide or show answers. So what is Atticus's job? Is he a doctor? Nope, that's the wrong answer. He's a lawyer. Is he a carpenter or a teacher? And so basically, these are like the already done, already made Kahoot. So maybe I like this. Challenges to play To Kill a Mockingbird. So you can do like a challenge where you like play other people. You can set it up to play like, oh, I like this one, I'm going to use it. And then I can choose player versus player, which is like on students on one-to-one devices. They can play on their phone, they can play on their computer, or you can do team mode where they're like sharing. And then there's some like different options you have. So let's do classic one-to-one, and so I've got this all ready to join. So basically now this, I'm going to mute that, plays this music in the background. I give this code here to all of my students, and obviously I don't really have anyone set up to play, but I'm going to jump in on my phone so you can see what happens when you do have a player in there. So it looks like someone named Happily in the showed up. That's me, happily in the middle. Naughty nicknames beware. The teacher can delete these names. See how I can click on it and then get rid of it? Sometimes you're going to get kids who do really stupid things. So here we go. The questions are going, and I have it on my phone. What is Atticus's job? So the questions pops up, and now here's the answers. So a doctor, a lawyer, carpenter, or teacher. Well, I need to choose my answer. I need to try to go as fast as I can. So I clicked it. There's only one of us in there. So it shows me how many got the correct answer. Not who, but how many. And this is the leaderboard here. So Happily in the middle is in the lead. I'm the only one there. What is the family surname? So let's do this again. The question's up, so I'm thinking. Finch, Robin, Sparrow, Chaffinch. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go with Robin. Oh man, looks like the right answer was the yellow one, and one person picked the red one. So as the teacher, this is also giving me some feedback as well of like, what are people choosing? And maybe that can give me an opportunity to reflect on what reteaching I need to do next. Because again, anything we do, we really want to get good data from that or good reflection to see what the students are learning and how we can help improve them. So I just picked a random one. Aw, man, I got that incorrect. So essentially, in the end, that's Kahoot. It's a really fun game. Kids really like it. It's really engaging. They love the challenge of the speed, trying to get as fast as they can. They love seeing their name on the leaderboard. It just makes for a really great review experience. We've got a review anyways. It might as well be fun and enjoyable, right?
Number 5, last on my list today, is ClassCraft. ClassCraft is super neat. Have you seen my last video where I talked about Class Dojo behavior management program that elementary teachers very commonly use? So in that video, I talked about Class Dojo. But today, I want to talk to you about ClassCraft. Now, ClassCraft is a program that's more commonly used in the upper grades. I know some teachers who do use it in upper elementary school, but I've seen teachers use it all the way into high school for basically the same thing as Class Dojo. So ClassCraft is a behavior management system. It gamifies behavior management in your classroom. All of the students are assigned a video game type character, and they earn experience points or gold for showing and demonstrating those positive behaviors you want to reinforce. So those include things like coming to class on time, coming prepared, helping other students, having your supplies ready to go, being polite, citing evidence, showing academic integrity. Whatever you want to celebrate, you can actually set that up within the program. Students can also lose health points, much like in a video game, for talking back to the teacher, being disrespectful, not being prepared, not having their assignments or whatnot. Now, what's really fun is the kids can do all kinds of things within ClassCraft. They're grouped within the program in groups. So if someone loses points, it doesn't just hurt them, it hurts the whole group. And so it really creates a sense of having to work together and hold each other accountable, which is really nice. Now, in ClassCraft, they have different tools you can use, like timers, they have stopwatch, they have a noise meter, they have all kinds of just really fun and useful tools in the class. Oh, like a randomizer, and it's really fun. So students actually can log into the program themselves, and then they get rewarded with like little tasks or um, fun adventure type things they can do within ClassCraft. And they also can spend their points on almost like cashing out, kind of, where they can earn things like eat a snack in class that they bring themselves, but they earn the privilege to be able to do that because I know most of us don't allow eating in class. They might be able to earn something like wear your hat in class for the day, or don't wear your shoes, or whatever you want to set that up as. I try and do like free things. I've even seen people do like give a hint on like a quiz or a test or something. So these become incentives the kids really like and want to work for. Now, just to be clear, just like Class Dojo, behavior management and incentive systems don't work for everyone, but they do work for the majority of students. So I do encourage you to continue to use whatever system you use in your class to hold students accountable. Although I do want to show you what it looks like because it's a very cool program.
All right, so this is ClassCraft. Now, I just like made a new account so you can see what it's like when you enter into the account for the first time. So ClassCraft is a game that turns learning into an adventure for you and your students. And so essentially you're just going to get like shown around the website. So they become warriors, they get powers, they can earn rewards, there's certain ways they can get power. So it's just going to show you all around. I don't want to read any of this because you can do that. You guys are smart people. So you're on your way. Next you're going to learn how to play. So I'm going to scroll down when I get on this page where it says get started. There's like a demo class, there's videos, there's a knowledge center. I want to click on the demo class because I want to show select your school level. I'm high school. And I'm going to choose basically like how do I want it set up because they have some like pre-made things that just make it easy for you depending on your grade level. So I'm going to go with PBIS since I know my school has PBIS. I'm going to click load class. Now remember this is a sample class. It's not a real class with real students. Over here on the left side you're going to see your players. That's your students. And then you will also see the team. So there's team names. So you know they have different names. And then these are like your overall classes. So back to players. So this is Veronica, this is Waylon, this is Opal, that's a different Opal, Guillermo, Irvin, and see all the characters, students, they all have a different character. And then you can kind of see over here, these are their health points, their experience points. What is AP? I don't know what AP stands for. GP, so these are all different, GP is like your gold points, all different rewards that students can get in the class. And then their characters have like powers and then sentences. So what does this say? Veronica's in the clear. She has no outstanding sentences. So she has powers that she can use. So basically what happens is Veronica comes in. I'm going to give her some experience points because she came to class prepared today. She had everything she needed and maybe she was really using appropriate language. So I'm going to give her 100 experience points. And not only that, but she helped the student who was absent. So I'm basically just rewarding her for being a great student. But maybe Opal is having a hard day and she keeps talking without raising her hand. So I'm going to subtract some points on there. Now the team response is we're going to let Opal take some damage. So she had damage. So she has a consequence that says hand in your next assignment a day early. So these are like consequences that you can create yourself. So it's a lot like Class Dojo in that you can like create areas you want to reward students. So the Wheel of Destiny is going to pick a random student. So Waylon, oh, he's following directions right now, so I'm going to give him points. And then I'm done. And maybe I want to do another random player. And then Veronica, hey Veronica, you are talking, so you are arguing with me. You're going to take some damage. Whoa, did you see how that dropped her health points down? So next is, let's do boss battles. That's like a quiz, some kind of review you can do in class. There's a countdown clock in here. There's a stopwatch you can use. You can do a volume meter where your students can So their reward is 100. They can get 50 gold points, and their penalty is minus 150 if they go against it. So I've got my volume going, and if they get too loud, oh my gosh, they're so loud, and I go over. Oh, no, I didn't go over. But maybe I'm going to bring my max down, and their points have been cut down. So keep going. And all these students lost points because they went above and they went above. And so do you see how that can kind of control the class as well? Let's stop punishing the kids for existing. So now they're not going to lose quite as many points there. So I'm done with that. Everyone wins. They got some treasure. So grade converter. There's lots of cool things in here. There's quests that students can do. I'm not going to open the quest and show you, but there's like a map and different things that characters can do. Like kids can earn reward. They can like play through games and stuff. There's a game feed over here. So it just shows how students are doing. Anyways, that's ClassCraft.
And there you have it, friends. 5 super cool programs that you can try out in your class this year. Now, remember my advice. Do not believe that you have to do everything at once. Choose one program, explore it, try it out. When you feel really good about it, use it in the classroom, or just do that one all year, or switch every month to a new program. Whatever works for you. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel like you have to do it all because you don't. Becoming a really great teacher is a journey, and I think we're all on that journey. We all want the best for our students, but don't forget you have to take care of you, and you don't want to get overwhelmed and bog yourself down with anxiety or stress or frustration. That's just not necessary. Do you like or use any of these programs? Do you want to know more about these programs, or maybe another program, or maybe you don't like some of these programs? Put a comment down below in the comment section. I'd really love to engage with you about these programs. I'd love to hear more about the programs you use in your classroom. Thanks for joining me here today. Have a great day.